Football Show is powered by the all-electric Chevy Silverado.
Welcome to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado. Check out the first ever all-electric Chevy Silverado on Chevy.com to build your own Chevy Silverado or the Silverado EV. NFL Week 7. We have a very special guest, Kyle Rudolph, first time. Kyle, thank you for being here with the boys. I know they're excited to talk football with you.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Long time Stoolie. Did you guys ever go up against each other?
Twice.
And?
1-1.
But what were his stats?
I think, not that I know, but I think 5 receptions, 80 yards. I think he had 1 touchdown.
Touchdown, cross your
and then
face.
a second. Actually, yeah, I believe he did score. They were known for, I think, Bradford was a quarterback one year, yeah?
Yeah, so Sam was with us 16.
Yeah, that was
I almost
the year.
had one of my last touchdowns of my career was no one was in the stadium, Vikings, Titans, COVID year, just weird.
Yeah.
But they would have this thing going in, like once they got around like the fringe area, they had like a tendency to where if they're doing a bazooka, it would be a screen. But that game, it went to a fake screen, and then he went up the sideline.
Oh.
You got faked?
Yeah, I got faked.
Oh, no.
Was it like a bad fake too? Was it like, like embarrassing?
Like
you were yelling the screen.
Took off running eyes in the backfield.
Yeah.
And coach was like, "What do you?"
got to take advantage of the smart players. Like we knew a guy like Will, if you're going to play 10 years in the NFL with that athleticism, he's going to be smart. He's going to know our signals.
That's true.
We had to
But yeah, it
change
was
it
one of
up
those
on
things
him.
like, "What are you doing?" It's man to man, and I'm like, he did the bazooka sound. Sometimes you gotta have calculated guesses when you're playing like myself.
So before the show, Dan, you said that you have a lesson to teach Will.
Bad news. Yeah, bad news for us. So we had a great week. I went 9.
Had a few good weeks in a row.
Yeah, 9-5. Will went 9-4. Delaney went 10-3.
10-4.
You feeling good? You feel good?
I feel great.
So the problem with last week is we all killed it. And then what is the worst thing in gambling is I had a great weekend, both on the show, off the show, everything. And then Monday comes and they're like, yeah, Vegas had the worst week of their, like, in the last 20 years. Every sucker won money last weekend. And I was like, God damn it, that was me. So
that means this week's going to be
no false confidence. Yeah, basically, there's nothing worse than having an awesome week and thinking you figure out the NFL. And then they're like, yeah, it turns out every fucking idiot in America won money last week. That's what happened.
We're seeing the board clearly.
But we're not. That's the problem. It's a reset.
Clearly.
It's basically this week is a trap game. This week is coming off a big win and being like, we've got to figure it out. We know how this league works, and it's gonna fucking bite us in the ass if we're not careful.
Okay.
That's the big thing.
All right.
And Kyle, just so you know, everybody that sits in that seat, like it's a collective effort. So even if you have a bad week, it's probably not your fault because people have had bad weeks before. If you have a great week, then we'll absolutely say it's all to your credit.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Delaney
Sounds like Delaney had 10-3, so I
10-3.
can
Yes.
go 3-10. We're still 500.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Right.
We have a tight end one right now. We have a tight end one. You're coming up the bench.
There was a game earlier this year, obviously you guys mentioned it, got a lot of my playing weight off. I was third string on the Vikings wide receiver depth chart on the ESPN app. So
Hell yeah.
clearly I've shifted to Justin Jefferson's backup's backup.
Okay. What are you weighing right now?
About 225. So it's this is what I weighed like
30?
throughout high school, went to Notre Dame, and you know how college football is. Like, we'll get you as big as possible.
Protein shakes during the lift.
Literally, like 45 grams of sugar from those whatever.
Yeah. Drink this chocolate milk.
Like a regular
Drink
day
this
to me.
weight gainer.
Chocolate milk for sure.
So I played a majority of my career at like 265, and then gave myself like a year after football, kind of just eat, drink, whatever you want, hang out, go to Baja Mall with Big Fat, throw down some cocktails there. And I got to like 270, 275, and then I've lost 50.
Okay.
So.
Now you
Was it a moment where you were naked, looking in the mirror, being like, I got to do something? You know those feelings.
Yeah. Or you see a picture.
Sounds like a personal
like,
experience.
Damn,
Yeah.
All right, get it together. I need to buckle it up a little bit. For me, it was really just you're regimented like your whole life as an athlete, and so I gave myself like a year. Had a knee surgery that I had to get cleaned up from the last year that I played, and it was like, all right, let's go. Time to get it off.
Damn.
You look phenomenal.
Thank you.
Some people said you look like a bitch 'cause you're so light. Not me. I actually
no,
said
you didn't
that.
say
No, I
that.
said
No,
he might.
no,
He
no.
might. Yeah.
You alluded to that.
Yeah.
You didn't say
But it's bullshit that you guys can just like be, like, oh yeah, like Taylor did the same thing where it's like, yeah, I was 300 pounds and then boom, I'm like
220.
in the best shape of my life. Fucking bullshit.
Honestly,
Bullshit.
it is bullshit.
Yeah.
Jerry, how you doing?
I feel good. Really
Yeah?
seeing the board clear this week.
You're seeing the.
Okay, Jerry.
Really clear.
Yeah?
Yeah, Jer?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then let's get into it. Jerry's seeing the board clear, and Dan, this is like one of those weeks that it's a trap game. For you.
It's trap game. Because
Okay.
you got to watch out for the pitfalls.
All right.
Yep.
Storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. We will start with the Lions at the Vikings. The Vikings -1.5. I'm going to do something I never do. I'm going to start with the guests.
Yes.
Start with Kyle, obviously a 2-time Pro Bowler with the Vikings. So how are you feeling about this game against the Lions?
I'm excited about it. It's a big one. Vikings coming off the bye. They were over in London. We were talking about the 2016 season earlier. We're going to try to not replicate that year.
That was the 5-0
that
and
was
missed the
the
playoffs.
5-0, went on the bye week and came back and finished 3-8.
Almost impossible. Almost impossible to miss the playoffs. starting five.
One of
hate to
those
hear
4
that.
losses
I hate to hear
were
that.
to Will
Yes.
in the Washington then Redskins at
Yep.
the time.
26-0.
So
26-20, my fault.
It was a bad.
That is a
year.
wild
Bad year.
difference.
Wait, so then, all right, so this is perfect
They
because
scored 20.
so coming off the bye week 5-0, how good do you feel? Like you got to feel like we got this figured out.
I think the difference between that year and this year was like we didn't have it figured out at 5-0. Like we
Okay.
were not very good on offense. We were scoring touchdowns on defense and special teams.
Not sustainable. Yeah.
Whereas, I like this Vikings team. I think on offense, Kevin gives Sam hey, you've got playmakers everywhere. Aaron Jones is a huge X factor. Getting
gotta
him
play,
involved.
yeah.
He's got to play this week. I don't love that they just traded for a back that can come in and play right away. I mean,
Yeah.
the last game he played was at US Bank Stadium.
Yeah.
So it's like he can come in and play right away. I would hope that Aaron's healthy and he can play because I think he gives that offense an X factor that it hasn't had the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell would throw it every time if you'd let him, which is not good for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
He's got to have that back in the backfield. So I think the best part of that matchup is on the other side of the ball. I think it's Brian Flores' defense against Ben Johnson.
Yep.
Number 1 offense in the league. And I've played against Flores defenses. They suck.
Why?
It's just he gets matchups. You think about all the guys that had high production sack wise in New England when he just moved them around. I remember he had Flowers, I think, was the defensive end there, and we played in New England. He just put Flowers over our center, and it was 1-on-1, and he sacked Kirk 4 times.
Yeah.
We're just all right, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to watch that. It gives quarterbacks problems. Jared Goff's playing at a high level, but it's not it's not an easy defense to play against. So I like our chances. I think this Minnesota 5-0 team is way different.
Yeah.
Will, you've been high on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking with the Vikings this week. I hate it. I feel like everything says that the Lions are going to beat their ass. I don't know why. The Vikings do have one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL. Detroit has a great defense as well. But even when you look at the data of rest advantage, Vikings are 3-5 coming off rest advantage. 8-11 in divisional games. And I feel like this is such a high-stakes game. I feel like this is one where I can easily see them losing, but I'm riding with the Vikings, even though I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I'm going with the Vikings as well. I'm going to go more emotional angle here. That game against the Cowboys, you could tell that meant so much to the Lions. They were emptying the playbook. They had 4 different plays where they were trying to get an offensive lineman a touchdown.
Amazing.
That was a game they have had circled since the schedule came out. They absolutely killed the Cowboys. But then you have the emotional letdown of that, and then the emotional letdown of Aiden Hutchinson going out for the year, which I don't like. He was the best defensive player in NFL through 5 games, 6 games. That's a fact, Jerry. You can look at his stats.
Ooh.
Aiden Hutchinson. He was leading the league in basically everything. But I think it's more. I think it's.
Said my prayers.
I think it's more the emotional letdown of losing a guy like that, because not only is he the best player on that defense, but he's the heart and soul of that defense, and everyone goes off of him. So I think the Lions will be okay long term, but I think this is a bad spot for them, especially with the Vikings coming off a bye. So I'm taking the Vikings as well.
Vikings across the board.
Vikings across the board. They are 5-0 against the spread this season, so
Yeah.
that is good for the good vibes. All right, the Texans at the Packers. The Packers -3. Will, I will start with you. Texans win last week. Packers win last week. How are you feeling about this matchup?
It's going to be a great matchup. I like the Packers. They're wearing their all whites.
I hate those uniforms.
You
White
hate
helmet
them?
this time,
I
too.
hate those
You hate
uniforms.
them
wearing
because
the
they
all
look
whites.
good, or you?
No, I think they look bad. I'm going to say something nice about the Packers. The Packers have classic, like, just great football uniforms. That's their color scheme, everything. Like, that is football, right? Vince Lombardi, that's football. You don't mess with that if you have that. The throwback uniforms and the alternate uniforms, that's a Titans, that's a Texans, that's a Jaguars, that's a Panthers thing. That's not a Packers thing. I hate it.
It's a great point. But
I hate
also,
it.
Like when you're on the team and you wear the same uniform over and over and over, and then you get something like some crispy all whites, you know the boys are going to be hyping the locker room.
I hate it.
That they get to wear something different.
I agree with that, but I just think that they shouldn't be doing these type of. It's below the Packers. Again, I'm complimenting the Packers when I say this. It's below the Green Bay Packers to be resorting to these type of gimmicks.
Kyle, do you agree with from a player standpoint, they getting a change up?
Like if you
No, it's
at
like
Notre
they have white
Dame.
helmet too, so that they've taken it a step further. In the past, they'll just throw like the white pants on, still keep the yellow helmet, and it's cool. You get to mix it up a little bit. Now you're throwing in the alternate helmet as well. Like they're going full all white.
Did you ever get to wear one at Notre Dame?
Nope, we did not have. We were the Green Bay Packers of college.
And how hype would you have been with those?
You never did the Joe Montana?
Never had a
Kelly
green.
Greens?
Nope, never had a green.
those are
Never had a
the same
Shamrock
thing,
series.
yeah.
Now they do the Shamrock series like once a year.
How hype would you have been to get that?
So hype. Like, it's,
That's the
I
difference
agree
between
with what
like
you guys are
watching
saying and
versus
players.
playing.
I'm just saying from, like, I think it's disgusting by the Packers organization. That's all I'm saying.
And it's also like an emotional thing, like because you guys talk about uniforms a lot when you're gambling. So
Yeah.
is this like a bad sign?
No, it could be good for the Packers players, like these guys are saying. It gives you a little extra juice in the locker room. I'm saying the Packers as a franchise, it's a disgusting act, and like they should probably just pack it all in if they're going to do this. They're just not playing. It's gross.
So,
it's gross.
are you
I am taking the
Texans?
Packers.
Oh, I was going to say, so are you taking the Texans?
I'm taking the Packers. I said it last week. Jordan Love feels like he's fully healthy now. You saw it as soon as he got fully healthy. The first 2 weeks he came back, I think he wasn't really trusting his knee. A lot of shotgun. Now he's back under center. Like that's where their offense just goes nuclear. When he's under center and he's doing play action and he's hitting Christian Watson deep. And I don't know what's going on with the Packers, but like all their wide receivers just got healthy. Like Christian Watson was going to be out forever, and then he's just like, I'm back. I'm scoring touchdowns. So I think this is going to be the biggest, a very tough matchup for the Texans. And without Nico Collins, they struggle like being consistent on offense. I know they just killed the Patriots, but I'm going to take the Packers at home.
But to your point with the consistencies too, it's like I want to say the Houston Texans offensive line or their offense is one of the more penalized teams.
Oh yeah, Laramie Tunsil.
Mm-hmm.
Laramie Tunsil has like 12 on the year, I believe.
Yeah.
So that
Vikings
kills
game, I think
drives.
he had 4 in a row.
Yeah, and the Packers O-line, I want to say they didn't give up any sacks.
Yeah,
last
no, they're
week.
good.
It's going to come down to the offensive line, who blocks better, and I like the Packers in this, especially being at home.
Kyle?
I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to take Houston. Their only loss of the year was on the road in the NFC North to the Vikings. I think on offense, with Nico Collins out, Diggs has got to step up. You traded for him for a reason. You brought him to Houston. Tank Dell, Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's a baller.
Yeah.
He's such a baller at running back. He can catch the ball in the backfield. So I look at those three guys to step up big to, make up for the loss that they have in losing the top performing receiver in the NFL right now. And then the other one was DeMeco Ryans. Just his familiarity with that system on offense. Played in Houston his whole career. It's Gary Kubiak, Kyle Shanahan. It's that offense. He coached with Shanahan in San Francisco.
That's a good point.
That's the LaFleur system that they're running there in Green Bay. And I think Houston gets the win on the road.
Okay. Jerry, I know you said you're seeing the board clearly. What do you think?
I like the Packers here. I do. One thing that I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of been pissing me off lately. Stroud after the game is just trying to big bro the other quarterbacks. I mean, that's bothering me. Have you seen these clips, Dan?
Yeah, I know. He tried to big bro Caleb Williams.
Yeah, like I don't like that.
That's the only one
Like
I'm
you're not
thinking
a
of.
you're not a veteran. You haven't been in the league for 10 years. If Russ was doing that, I get that. But a guy like Stroud,
Comes back to Russ.
Yeah.
but a guy like Stroud, I mean, just trying to big bro everybody, and everybody in the comments like, oh, he's just doing that because he's spreading positivity. No, you're not. Love is gonna body them this game.
Okay.
I think the Packers scored 35 on them.
I thought it was crazy. D'Amico said that Jordan Love's the best quarterback that they faced this year, and they played the Bills.
And they played Josh Allen. I know, that was very weird.
Was that like a lapse, maybe?
I think so.
Like he doesn't actually think that.
I mean, Jordan Love's very, very
Right,
good, but
but
Josh
not-
Allen is the second best quarterback in the NFL.
That had to have been just he wasn't thinking fully when
Yeah.
he said that.
Yeah, he probably forgot.
I think 2D, yeah.
What?
Internally, maybe,
Who would
getting the
be
guys
two?
like hype.
Who was
Yeah.
one?
Patrick Mahomes.
Just based on this year or career?
No, I'm saying if you started a franchise tomorrow, no contracts matter, nothing. I think Patrick Mahomes goes 1. I think Josh Allen goes 2.
Who would you put it to?
Do you guys disagree with that?
Love.
He would put Jordan Love.
You would put Jordan Love at 2?
Yeah.
No. That's stupid, Jared.
Goff's in my top 5.
I love Jared.
Yeah.
He's been playing
I
incredible.
love Jared Goff.
He's been,
He's my top
I love
5.
Jared Goff.
I feel like Love just isn't in the 2 slot just because of like the lack of resume.
Yeah.
Well, but you know,
It's the same thing
factoring
as
in what
CJ
these
Stroud.
quarterbacks have
He's
done.
been incredible, but it's been
right,
a year.
Right.
Where would you put Joe Burrow? I mean, he's having a hell of a year.
Yeah,
despite
no,
their
I'd
record.
probably put Joe Burrow somewhere in the,
4 or 5, Dan?
probably Lamar 3,
Yeah, I agree.
and Joe somewhere 4 or 5.
Love is not in your top 5, Dan?
No.
I know he's a
probably not.
Packer, but
Right, that's
Probably not. Probably not. Probably for that. Yeah.
The thing that scares me with Joe is just his health.
Yeah. But he has been playing.
Balling.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they've not won very many games, but he's been crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Jerry's Picking Zoo, presented by Stella Blue Coffee. Football season is back, and the new maple pumpkin pie and apple crumb cake blends are ultimate game day companions. They're available in both ground coffee and K-Cup varieties. Grab Stella Blue's limited edition fall flavors today at StellaBlueCoffee.com. Use promo code football to enjoy 20% off any order of $25 or more. We have a new animal this week because Cosmo, the panda dog, lost. So I've heard this is great, Jerry. I've heard that this video is,
I have a phobia of this animal.
you have a phobia of the upcoming animal.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's roll it.
All right, welcome back. Pro Football Show Week 7. Jerry's Picking Zoo. We had Osmo. He was a winner, but then he lost. We had Cosmo, the gambling pendant. He was a winner, but then he lost. So what do we do?
Oh.
We went back. See, that's what I mean, Tom. We went back to the well. I know people watching. Jerry, why are you holding the leash like that? I got a phobia of sand, and I have a phobia of cats. But Mika the cat, she's completely off the leash now. Completely off the leash. She's Tom. What do I do?
Just tell her to pick a game.
Mika, pick a game. San Fran or Kansas City? You pick. Pick a game. Treats. Okay. Okay. Oh, she's on. Okay. She's on it. Here. Mika. Mika, come on. Come here. Mika. Here.
Uh-oh.
This could be good. She could be thinking about the game in depth right now. This might be a no bet. Game's too close.
Oh.
Kansas City.
Kansas City. All right, we got Kansas City.
Tom's a cat guy.
Mika
You know
took a
Tom was
long
cat
time,
guy?
but
Down there, I did not.
that's
know.
not
Yeah,
her
Tom's a
fault.
cat guy.
First time in a new
Tom is a
environment,
cat.
we'll get closer. We'll become
Think about him
friends.
a little differently.
Mika.
Yeah.
It makes him seem sweet. It makes him seem sweet.
Yeah.
But I guess once you learn that, it's kind of like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that kind of goes with everything.
Kind of
else.
seems like a cat guy.
Yeah.
Running around the room
Jerry's still talking.
and
What do you
whatnot.
got, Jerry?
So she thought about this game in depth. It's always been the Chiefs. Book it.
He just said it's always been the Chiefs.
Okay.
She took a
job,
little
Jerry.
bit to make the actual pick.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
did.
Tom being a cat guy, like it surprised me a little bit, but I think it shows his softer side. No?
Sure.
Is that what you guys?
I'd just rather have a dog.
I'd rather have a dog too.
I'm
I'd rather
making
have a
fun,
dog,
yeah.
but
I'm more of a dog guy.
more of a dog.
Yeah.
Dog guy.
Yeah.
And then Jerry has a phobia of cats.
Yeah, I've always been scared of cats. I remember I was maybe 10 years old at the time, and my first memory of being scared of cats was I heard this screaming outside. I thought somebody was getting murdered, and I opened my basement door. I go outside, 2 cats in the middle of the street going at each other. You're like all that
Why would that scare you?
because they're vicious. I never seen a dog do that
I've seen. I've seen a dog fight bad ones.
in person like that.
Yes, I've seen bad
Really?
ones. Yeah.
Cats
Jerry's
are
a
also
full
just-
bully. Jerry's a full dog. Like, even dogs are kind of scared of cats. You know what I mean? They're
Well, that's
always
because
feeling
cats are
intimidated.
smarter than everybody. Like, cats are smarter than us. Like,
Tom
like,
said he can leave the cat for like 3 days if he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've always
That's
said like,
crazy.
like we have kids, like you have to potty train a kid. Like you don't have to potty train a cat. It aren't, no, it's like they're too smart. They are way too smart. But she picked the Chiefs. So the game of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado is the Chiefs at the 49ers. Dan, the 49ers -1.5. Are you riding with Mika the cat?
I'm not. This is a game that I'm probably walking into a huge trap because it's Andy Reid off a bye, 21-4, all time off a bye. Patrick Mahomes as an underdog, he's 10-3 straight up as an underdog. But with all that said, I just feel like there might be no stat to back this up. When you have the Super Bowl rematch, like the 49ers are going to want, they've had this game circled. They were watching tape of the Super Bowl this week. Kyle Shanahan was talking about PTSD. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I think the 49ers are going to win this game. They just, it's like a hungry dog kind of situation where it's like the Chiefs are 5-0. This game matters, but it's not a be all end all. 49ers, like, they beat you twice in the Super Bowl, and it's still sitting there, and you were a play away last year. So I think the 49ers are going to win this game.
Kyle, this is the first time this season that the Chiefs have been an underdog. Does that play into this for you at all?
No, it doesn't. I'm going with the Chiefs. The Andy Reid coming off a bye thing is huge. Also, Mahomes. I think Pat's 5-0 coming off a bye. Going against a team that isn't coming off one. Although you could say San Fran had a little bit of a mini bye. I think it's a huge game for the 49ers, more so than the Chiefs. The Chiefs really haven't played well, and they're 5-0. So hopefully that little bit of extra time helped them get things together on offense. There's always so much to do about the receiver room in Kansas City, and it really doesn't matter. Like, as long as Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback, Juju comes back, it's 100 yards. They signed Kareem Hunt off the street. He runs for 100. So I'm taking the Chiefs. Just don't bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Will?
I agree. I think it's the Chiefs, and as much as I've been a hater on the Chiefs, I do feel like this is a spot where it's like Mahomes, he hasn't played his best ball at all, and they're still like a middle-of-the-road offense. I feel like, does he get out of his rut? I think he gets out of his rut this week, especially coming off a bye. And you've already said it. For those who have some gambling data fetishes out there, Dan's already said Andy Reid is 21-4 straight up after a bye week. The Chiefs are 12-0 on Sunday games played on the West Coast. The 49ers are 0-4 in their last 4 October games as favorites against AFC opponents. And I feel like knowing that they're underdogs going on the road, it's not a primetime game, so that's what makes me feel like the Niners could be in a good spot because it's middle of the afternoon on Sunday. But I feel like the Chiefs start to put it together on offense this week.
Those stats hurt. No, I'm going to stick with the 49ers. This is a dumb pick by me. I'm gonna feel really dumb. I was smart in the Super Bowl. When the Super Bowl was that game was a pick'em, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to trust that Patrick Mahomes and bet a ton of money on Patrick Mahomes, and it worked out. I'm an idiot, but I'll stick with it.
But you're going to stick with me?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with being an idiot.
And I was an idiot in the playoffs. Mahomes, underdog in Baltimore.
Yep.
You take Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, then underdog. They were a slight underdog, basically a pick 'em in the Super Bowl. You take the 49ers.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm done betting against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's smart.
fair.
That's smart. Everyone gets their day.
Yeah, you don't get rich
It's
betting
like,
against
I'm done with this. Yeah.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
I did have that in the Super Bowl, but now I'm back on the.
You just got to think after a bye week, Mahomes sitting there, he knows it's time to start to turn it on.
He's thrown 6 picks this year. Like, he doesn't
know.
throw 6 picks in a year.
Right.
Like you said, they got to figure it out coming out of a bye.
Yeah.
What better time?
All right, let's go to the playbook picks presented by DraftKings. What's better than watching football on the weekend? It's watching football with the DraftKings Sportsbook app in your hand. And our partner at DraftKings is hooking up all new customers who bet only $5. You instantly get $200 in bonus bets. So new customers use the promo code PRO, P-R-O, and bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. And you can also follow all of us here at Barstool, all your favorite Barstool personalities, in the Barstool betting group on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. That's promo code PRO only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Okay, Dan, it's a Bears bye week.
Yes.
Which I know you always pick the Bears for this.
Yes.
First of all, before you get to your pick, how are you feeling about the Bears on the bye week?
Feel great.
Yeah?
Great. 4-2 going in the bye. Everything looks good. We got a lot of football left, a lot of tough games left, but 4-2 is what I predicted 4-2 back in January. They're 4-2. We're hitting all the marks. Get rested. We're going to go next week.
Okay.
How crazy is it that the NFC North is like, 16-4?
17-5 plus 211 point differential.
Crazy.
Nuts.
Crazy. So who are you going with this week?
All right, so I have the Dolphins at the Colts. The Dolphins off a bye. Now, I want it very clear. This is a pick. If Joe Flacco starts, I want it to be on the Colts. But if Anthony Richardson starts, I want it to be on the Dolphins. Because I think Anthony Richardson is going to start. Anthony Richardson is not good. He has the worst completion percentage from a clean pocket in the NFL. It's like 54%. The Dolphins, off a bye. Tyler Huntley gets a little more time with the offense. I also think you saw Mike McDaniel 2 weeks ago against the Patriots. He's like, hey, look, I can't run the Tua offense with Tyler Huntley. We're going to pound the rock. They ran it 41 times against the Patriots. I think that's what they're going to do here. They're going to run the ball a ton. And Anthony Richardson, I'm not a believer in Anthony Richardson. So if he's playing, I love the Dolphins.
Okay. Kyle, what do you think?
Wonder team's just going to just let Joe Flacco start.
I know. The Colts are in a tough situation, though, because Joe Flacco is clearly better and gives them a chance to go to the playoffs. But if you use the 4th pick overall on Anthony Richardson, you got to kind of figure out what he is now. Otherwise, you're just kicking the can down the road. So I get it. But yeah, it's like gun to your head. Like you'd absolutely take Joe Flacco in this game.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a way in which you can use both guys. Like Joe Flacco is completely different than Anthony Richardson, and he's physically a freak, athleticism off the charts. You could bring him in certain situations, but like let Joe be the guy, and make sure you don't ruin the 4th overall pick for the rest of his career. Kind of like when Lamar was a rookie in Baltimore with Joe.
Yeah.
It was like they let him play a little bit, then ultimately he took over halfway through that season. So like, I'm just setting him down, get healthy, watch this dude every day, let Joe get you in the playoffs and use Anthony. So
especially when you got a shot. You got a shot to make a run at the playoffs with Joe Flacco as your quarterback.
So I'm going to put the same exact stipulations. Like I'm betting on Joe Flacco. If Joe doesn't start, I'll take Miami.
Okay.
Will?
I will take that same stipulation as well. I mean, you got Anthony Richardson. He completes half of the throws. He's got twice as many interceptions as he does touchdowns. And I think, too, like even though Miami, they want to run the football, like they do trust Huntley to throw the ball. If you watch in the last game, like he's not hitting Tyreek Hill. He's trying to get him the ball. And I feel like Huntley, it being his 3rd start, McDaniels being like, even if Skylar's healthy, we're still going to go with Huntley.
Right.
Like they trust him to throw. They trust him to throw it. And him coming off a bye week, having that bye week to learn the offense a little bit more. Yeah. I think Miami's like in a great spot because they have a good defense.
Yeah.
And I do. I think Huntley will start to get it figured out a little bit. Obviously, it's not Tua, but I love Miami coming off a bye week.
I don't know if we've ever had an across-the-desk stipulation game before.
I mean, it's a big stipulation.
Right.
I got
huge.
screwed last week. I took the Titans last week. I thought it was going to be Anthony Richardson and no Michael Pittman. And then what happens in that game? Joe Flacco hits Michael Pittman for the game.
Yeah.
So very important.
What the fuck just happened?
Very important stipulation. Okay, Will, what's your playbook pick?
I'm going to go with the Chargers at Arizona. I like the Chargers. Like Arizona Cardinals, they put the ball on the ground. I want to say the Chargers have only had like 2 turnovers. Like they play hardball football. They want to run the ball. They have a top 10 defense. They want to wear you down. They want to lean on you. And I feel like Arizona, even though Kyler, like they have the athleticism, he's frisky throughout the year. He can win games. I don't think it's against the Chargers. I think they control the ball. I think they get out in front early. And then from there, I think they're able to run the football and wear you down defensively.
Yeah, I agree with you on this. Man, football team. Harbaugh off a heart attack. Like, you got to
Exactly. And they're disciplined. They don't make many mistakes.
I love that he went in the blue tent. First. Yeah, I love that he went in the blue tent. And he said, what was his quote? Oh, he had this week, he said that he talked to his doctors, his cardiologist, and he said that the cardiologist told him he has a heart of an athlete. Blue twisted steel. I mean,
he starts flexing at the
podium. He's 2-0 in heart attack.
Yeah.
Didn't he say that the only way he would be on the sidelines is if he's dead?
Yeah, if he's dead. I love it.
Yeah, he's a football guy. All right, Kyle, who
I'll
you
take
riding?
the Chargers too. #1 scoring defense.
Yeah,
Will
they're
said it.
playing
Like
well.
it's a hardball team. Like you can see, like in a year, they've already embodied their head coach. So I'm taking the Chargers.
Okay, and Kyle, what's your playbook pick?
The Eagles at the Giants. Saquon Barkley, teammate of mine when we were in New York for a year together. Revenge game going back to New York. So I'm taking the Eagles. Also, I feel like the Giants just can't catch a break. Like they lose Andrew Thomas, who's one of the best tackles in football, and they can't protect DJ to begin with, and now you lose your best offensive lineman. So I'm taking Philly.
Yeah.
Dan?
This is one of those games that I think no matter what I pick, I'm going to be wrong because I kind of like the Giants, but
Go Giants.
Andrew Thomas, you're right.
Go Giants.
Eagles are just weird. Nick Sirianni's weird. Shit is just weird. But Saquon revenge game.
I do like that.
I kind of like that too, but
Oh,
He played with him, so he knows his mentality.
Jerry, what do you think?
Giants.
Giants. Give me the
Okay.
Giants.
I'm Giants as well.
Okay.
This
Gary's
is
seeing the board clearly, fellas.
This is an ugly game, but it is. It's just this weird vibe with Sirianni and the taunting the fans after beating the Browns.
Not a good look,
escaping,
especially in Philly. Like,
escaping. And look, he's like done this every year. Like there's usually a moment that he has, whether it's with a player or he has with his fans, to where it just feels weird. It feels off.
Yeah.
I feel like the Giants just get one here for whatever reason.
This is going to be one of those games next week when we're all sitting here and like you're not here. They're going to be like, we should have listened to Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I can
just
live with this one.
strictly betting on Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the Philadelphia Eagles or Sirianni. Like, this is Saquon going back to New York. I know
Eagles.
just his mentality.
That's what I'm saying. You played with him. You know his
Switching to the
mentality.
Eagles. I'm switching
Like,
to
Give
the
it
you
to
know-
him 100 times.
Switching to the Eagles.
Like he's going to go out there and want to kick their asses.
I also, the one thing that makes me like the Eagles is that game against the Browns, they dominated that game. That game was close, obviously, because you had the block, field goal for a touchdown. The Eagles dominated that game. Yeah, I'm going Eagles.
Okay. Anybody else want to switch?
No, I'm sticking Giants +3.
Okay. Let's move on to the rapid fire picks of the week presented by Fireball. It is the Fireball rapid picks of the week, which means it's time for you to take a shot, Will.
I got you.
So the rapid fire pick segment is presented by Fireball Whiskey. What makes football great is a ton, but you know what the best thing is? Kicking the living shit out of your rival. And this week we've got NFC East rivals in New York, the Eagles versus the Giants, like we just talked about. And Fireball is here to give you the spark to ignite that rivalry all season long. Grab your football buddy, buy around, and ignite that rivalry flame. At every drop of that. It's cold outside now a little bit, so it's like Fireball's perfect to warm you up.
Spice.
Perfect. So Kyle, what we do here is we just rapid fire through them. If you want to talk about a game, you can, or if you just want to give a pick. So we'll start with the international game, another 9:30 a.m. Eastern kick, Will, with the Patriots and the Jags, both 1-5. The Jags -5.5.
Pass.
Okay, I'll go.
He gets one game to pass on every week, by the way.
I'll take the Patriots. I don't love it. Drake May was not bad. He was not bad, and the Jaguars are bad. They're bad. It does make me a little nervous. The Jaguars are there for they stayed
played
in
in London,
London.
right.
But yeah, I don't think the Jaguars should be favored by 5.5 against anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone.
But because they were there for the week, though, like, is that what you think the line is?
Yeah,
saying?
I mean, the Patriots are not. Their defense is bad. Yeah, but I'm going to take them. I just don't. I think the Jaguars probably win, but they shouldn't be 5.5 point favorites over anyone.
Kyle?
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I think the Jags stink, but you can't be in London for 2 weeks and not at least win one of the two. So I'll take Jags for that reason only.
Yeah, I'll go Jags.
Okay.
I'll go Jags as well.
That was your one pass?
Yeah, this is such an ugly game. Okay,
well, then
you're there 2 weeks.
You're there 2 weeks. Your quarterback makes $55 million. Go win a game.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll start with you again, Will. The Titans at the Bills. The Bills -9.5.
This so many points, but I think the Bills cover.
Do you think this is one of those Bills just smash them spot?
I think so, man. I
I'm
feel
so
like
sick of betting on the Titans.
the Titans are the worst team turnover-wise in the league, turnover margin. I don't feel good about the Titans. You got Calvin Ridley speaking to the media, talking about he wants to see targets in the beginning of the game. You feel like when that stuff starts to seep into the locker room, it never ends well, man. It never ends well, and I like Will Levis, but I feel like the locker room is upset right now. I feel like there's trade talks with Jeff Simmons, with DeAndre Hopkins. What do you do? How do you start to plan for the future? And Tony Pollard was even running the ball well. Like the O-line got moving a little bit. They were running the ball well last week. I feel like it's the Bills, man. Even though it's 9.5 points.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you. I think this is one of those classic Bills, just smash them. And I can't bet on the Titans anymore. I've lost so much betting on the Titans. Because I think they're good, but they're not. But I think they're good.
Right.
not, yeah.
And
They're 1-4. They're not.
And I hate. I get my haircut at this local little barber shop. Shout out.
Free out.
No free ads.
shout-outs. But it does. It feels like the locker room is pretty upset with the way.
Oh,
things are going.
you're getting news from the barbershop? Wow.
Yeah, that's
Wow. Okay.
like the Bills.
Okay.
okay. Kyle?
I'll take the Titans just because 9.5 points is so much in an NFL game. Literally, that's the only reason.
Yeah. That's not a bad strategy. It is.
I would like to think this could be one of the Josh Allen games where it kind of just comes out, does his thing, and they win by double digits, but I'm going to take the points. 9.5's a lot in an NFL game.
All right, Dan, the Bengals at the Browns. The Bengals -5.5. We talked about Joe earlier. He's been playing lights out, but they are 2-4.
Yeah, so this is partially why I had to take the Bills, because I couldn't just take only bad teams this week, but I'm taking the Browns. I'm taking the Browns in this game. They play better defensively at home. As bad as the vibes are with Deshaun Watson, and they couldn't be worse, Nick Chubb coming back, if you've seen any of the clips, that locker room fucking loves Nick Chubb. Like, they are so pumped to have him back. He might carry the ball 10 times. I don't think it matters. I think they get a little boost from it. And I think the similar to the Jaguars, like the Bengals are better than the Jaguars, but the Bengals haven't proven that they should be 5.5-point favorites just because the defense played well against the Giants, but they haven't played well otherwise. And I just think the Browns find enough to keep it close in this game.
Will?
I'm with Dan. I feel like you do get that little bit of juice. Like, there is no life in Cleveland. Like, none. Nothing to root for, nothing to be excited about. But when you get like a locker room favorite coming back who also happens to be an absolute stud, it gives you a little bit of some good juju going into the game. So I do feel like they get one here. So I'm going to go with the Browns.
Yeah, I'm on the Browns as well. I was with Kevin Stefanski for 9 years in Minnesota. It's my guy. In a tough situation right now, but they've had a lot of success against the Bengals in Cleveland too, so I'm going to go Browns.
I think also the Browns are going to start, because they have to play Deshaun Watson. I don't think that's Stefanski's call. I think that's probably coming from ownership. I think Stefanski's going to start maybe simplifying it a little bit more, and especially running the ball, because it's just been so bad. And I think Conklin might be back as well, which is huge, because that offensive line has not been good. I think Deshaun's responsible for a lot of the sacks, but the offensive line has also not been good.
And knowing you've been with Stefanski for a while, like what's his style when you're in the middle of the season like this? Not and kind of behind the 8 ball.
Chill. No, he's very real. Really kind of a guy that like this all the time. It is what it is. Like, we got to go out. We got a division home game here.
Find a way.
Chubb's coming back.
Yeah.
He'll give it to him as many times as he possibly can.
Yeah.
You have some coaches that are just brutal to play for.
No, Kevin's awesome. I guarantee you he's, like I said, the vibes couldn't be worse in Cleveland, but if there's a shot that he has the pulse of that locker room, it's Kevin.
Yeah.
He's
feed
got
Nick
that.
Chubb,
Yeah.
Okay.
Feed the run game.
All right, Kyle, the Seahawks at the Falcons -3.
I'm going to take the Falcons on the road. Kirk swag surfing his way into Seattle.
Oh, no, they're at home. Falcons are at home.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
It's because that clip of Kirk saying,
say the walk in your trap, take over your trap.
that was about the Panthers last week. Yeah.
Yeah, Falcons at home.
I like the Seahawks in this game. I think the Falcons, the one problem with the Falcons is they don't have any pass rush. They didn't sack Andy Dalton once last week. They're literally last in the NFL in sacks per game, under a sack a game. And that's been the problem for the Seahawks, is Geno feels like he's been under pressure constantly. That offensive line has not been great, but I think that's where a strength comes, is like the Falcons aren't able to get at Geno, and he's got weapons all over the field. I think it's going to be a weird field goal type game.
Okay, Will?
And they've also dropped 3 straight, right?
3 straight off a mini bye because they played Thursday.
Right. And I'm with you. I'm going with the Seahawks as well at Atlanta, like on the road. Like, you've dropped 3 straight after starting off 3-0. It's kind of one of those things, hey, nobody's counting on us to win this game. Our backs are against the wall. We're going on the road. No one is picking us. I feel like they'll have that motivation on top of, like, they are a good football team. They just haven't gotten a win in the last 3.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Seahawks.
Okay, let's do Panthers at Commanders. Kyle, I will start back with you. Commanders -8.
I'm going to take the Commanders. 8 points is a lot, but they got a good football team. Jane Daniels is a stud. I don't think Carolina is that good.
No, they're bad.
They were like, I saw something, like trade targets for the deadline. It's like half Carolina's team was on the graphic.
That's never a good feeling.
Every receiver. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Commanders.
Yeah.
Dan?
I'm going to take the Commanders as well, but I don't like it. Just because 8 points. 8 points, like, that's the Panthers' offense is not that bad. Their defense is atrocious. So I think the Commanders will get to pick their number. It's just like the 8 points, you leave the back door open. You just never know.
Yeah.
I'm going to take them.
Vegas DraftKings are starting to make it hard on us because of the week we all had last week. But I like the Commanders. I feel like even though they lost against Baltimore, we were talking about it last week, shut down the run, see if Jaden Daniels can beat you. I feel like he competed. He throws the ball well. You can win a few different ways with Washington. I think they have a good football team, man. As long as they got to improve defensively, but against Carolina, I think they do. I think they cover 8 here.
Yeah, and I think that was it last week. They just couldn't stop Baltimore down the stretch.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to have a hard time stopping Carolina.
Right.
Right.
Okay, well, the Raiders at the Rams. The Rams -6.5.
So I usually get a pass game a week, and I also get an I don't know game of the week.
Okay.
And this is my I don't know
Let
game
me
of
help
the week.
you. I can
Yeah,
use my
this is
notes.
Dan help.
You wanna
Yeah.
hear
Sell
my
me
notes?
this pick. Yes,
Okay.
sell
Give us
me
your
this
notes.
pick, brother.
Rams off the bye. Aiden O'Connell sucks. I hate this game.
Good notes.
Does that help?
Aiden O'Connell sucks.
I hate this game. I hate
Which
this
one
game.
you going? Which one you
I don't
going?
fucking know. I hate this
You
game.
know, you know,
Yeah, you go, Kyle. You go, Kyle.
Well,
Yes.
Matthew Stafford at home, like everything sucks. Like let's just go with a guy that's been around.
Okay,
forever.
yeah, I like that.
Slinging it.
Off a
Like, let's
bye.
just-
You're right.
I like
Go with
that.
Matthew
I like
Stafford.
that.
Matthew
Let's just-
Across the board?
Aiden O'Connell
Let's just
sucks. It's
trust
in my
the
notes.
consistency.
It's in my notes.
If any coach finds a way, we say it all the time, it's Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Will
And
has
Cooper might be coming back.
his pass game of the week and his I don't know game of the week. Dan, now you have I hate
this game. That was the extent of my notes.
I hate this game.
Let me
so
help you
bad.
out.
And I won't be here next week, so I'll just start it off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Okay, Sunday Night Football. Jerry, your Steelers. So the Jets at the Steelers in Pittsburgh. The Jets -2.5. How you feeling?
I feel good. Not overly confident, but
Love that.
I do feel good.
Love that.
TJ Watt, listen, when you have TJ Watt in a football game, your chances to win are significantly better than any other team in the NFL. Rodgers can't move.
You also look pissed all the time.
Yeah, like the Steelers' pass rush is one of the best in football. Cam Hayward's playing at a high level. They're getting Alex Highsmith back. Mike Tomlin, home underdog. How do you go against that? Everybody in the world is just saying to themselves, oh, Rodgers is going to be back, Devontae Adams. They haven't played football together for a long time. I mean, I don't think that's instantly going to come back and Devontae Adams is going to get 120 yards, receiving and a couple touchdowns. It's not going to happen, especially against the Steelers. Russ is the spark. Yeah. Russ is the spark. I've been saying it since day one. He's a veteran. He's a winner. He wasn't some piece of shit scrub in Denver. He was not. Peyton and him didn't get along. I love the spark. I love the move from Mike Tomlin. Justin has been playing well, but he can't pass the ball. Steelers with Russ are going to pass the ball.
To who?
George Pickens.
Oh, is he going to run routes this week?
Pat Fryermuth. Jalen Warren is healthy.
Scotty
Najee
Miller.
Harris. I listen. I like the Steelers. I do.
So Dan, do you not agree?
No, I don't agree at all. Jerry just talked out of both sides of his mouth. He's like, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, it's not going to come back instantly. You know what's not going to come back instantly? Russell Wilson, who hasn't played for a month and a half and wasn't good the last time we saw him play.
That's a nice rebuttal.
He's a veteran.
It's not. Russ might be okay later on this season. He's not going to be okay going against the Jets defense the first game back. I like the Jets. And the Jets are also, they are out of excuses, out of moves, fired the coach, brought in Devontae Adams. It's like now or never. This is a game that they absolutely have to win. So I think I like the Jets. And the Steelers are 4-2. They're a good team, but they don't have to win the way the Jets have to win this game.
And Kyle, we saw like last week, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he's been looking pissed all year, but he's just fed up too. So Are you buying that he's going to be able to beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, because he got what he wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, Devontae was like at his place on his show the next day. Yeah. Did he sleep over there the night
Yeah,
before,
for
sure,
after
for
Monday
sure.
Night Football? So I'm taking the Jets because Aaron got what he wants, and he knows, all right, I got what I want, now it's time to go.
Okay, Will?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I want the Steelers to win because I feel like they are, in my opinion, in kind of a must-win situation because Tomlin, he has the stones, he has the clout to make a decision like he's making, putting in Russell Wilson over Justin Fields. I feel like there's a lot riding on that because if it doesn't work out, from what I've heard, Justin Fields, he's an all-in guy. He's a big team guy. You're 4-2 with him. Why, not that they're like having magic, but you know how that can affect a locker room or a sideline in the middle of a game if it doesn't work out, if this call doesn't work out the way they hope it will. I hope it does. I do think Russ can play better with that offense. So I'm rooting for the Steelers. And part of me, I know Aaron got what he wanted, and I do. I think it's going to be hilarious if Devontae gets 120 with a couple touchdowns while Jerry's saying that. Because they very well could. Like, it will take a minute, but their football knowledge, like, but you hear Devontae talk about football. You know he understands the game at the highest level with Aaron. So they're going to be able to click right away. But there's just something about, like, him leaning into the screen, when they were on McAfee, and it just felt like a checkmate. Like they're just about to go on a run. They're still 2-4. I like Steelers at home being dogs, making a move like this, and I'm kind of rooting for it because I do hope Russ works out. Because if it doesn't, I think the Steelers could be in a very bad spot. Putting Justin Fields on the bench.
You go ahead.
I would say there's a lot to be made. Devontae already had his Jets Jordan cleats.
Yeah,
but
ready.
Were they green? He had green cleats when he played for the Packers.
That's true. That's true.
So we know these guys just have cleats everywhere.
Yeah.
So he probably just pulled out a pair of old white and green ones from Green Bay.
That's true. I have a theory I'll throw out there. Is there a chance that Mike Tomlin hears, he told Russ that he's the starter to start the season. He got injured. Mike Tomlin hears everyone being like, Russ, the Jerrys of the world being like, Russ, we need Russ. Is there, Russ was probably healthy last week, was he?
He was 100% healthy.
Yeah.
Tomlin said he could have played last week.
Okay, so why wouldn't you start him against the Raiders that you can
That's
beat?
what I said.
Okay, so now he's starting him against the Jets defense?
Think it's a setup?
I think it's a setup.
Yeah,
I
I did say that too.
And then he's going to be like, "This, you guys wanted this. You saw it. It's Justin Fields." That's a theory.
That's a theory.
I've said that.
That's a theory.
That's a theory.
Okay.
That's a theory.
You got to think they don't make a move like that just based on setting something up.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
no,
do.
this is
Like
a
when this
stupid
game,
theory, but it's a
when this
theory.
game kicks off on Sunday, like all of the pressure will be on Russ.
But he
because of
basically
everything.
said to Russ, "You're the starter, right?" And he's going to give him a chance no matter what. And he's like, maybe his eyeballs are like, "Hey, he's probably not good, but I promised him he was going to be a starter." We did a whole thing trying to get him to Pittsburgh, all this stuff.
Reeling him in for the stuff off the field.
Right.
Like they've
so
been all in on Russ.
you get a chance, and it probably won't go well.
Right.
And then we're going to have to.
You just hope Justin doesn't go in the tank mentally.
No,
at
he
all.
won't.
Like
He won't.
because again, if something happens, they're going to need you right back in
Yeah.
that same situation.
Their offensive line is banged up, and he's not mobile.
We'll
Watch
see.
out, Jerry.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, Rodgers isn't mobile either.
I understand.
Against one of the
But
best
he can
pass
throw.
rushers. True.
He can throw. He can throw.
He could throw. He could throw.
Throw
He can
real
throw well.
He can throw real well.
I just can't get the Cowboys game out of my head.
Oh my God.
The Steelers offense in that, the Cowboys defense, banged up. Loves Zim. Zim's my guy. We're together in Minnesota. He's a great defensive football coach. I mean, like you said, Detroit, they were trying to throw touchdowns to offensive linemen, and they basically handed Pittsburgh that game.
You know.
And they couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Rolling with the
Jets.
Jets. Okay.
Yeah.
God, no.
All right, we'll finish out with Monday Night Football, Dan. The Ravens at the Bucks. The Ravens -3.5.
I'm gonna take the Bucks. I don't like the Bucks because of Stephen Shea. I said that. I've downgraded the Bucks just based on Stephen Shea. I got to take my bias out of it. I think the Bucks are pretty good, and Baker's gonna make some plays in this game. The Ravens defense, they looked better against the Commanders, but I don't think it's fully fixed in terms of the pass defense. It's gonna be a great game. I'm excited for this game. I just think 3.5 is too much for home dog there with the Bucks.
Kyle?
Yeah, riding with the Bucks. Baker leading the NFL in touchdowns. I think can't turn the ball over. Like when Baker goes out and doesn't turn the football over, Todd Bowles is just a monster on the other side of the ball. He dials up all kinds of crazy pressures. I'm taking the Bucks at home.
Will?
No, I'm with them. I'm excited for this game because you're right, you can't turn the ball over. But the fact that you threw 3 picks and still put up over 50 is a big positive. And, the Ravens, they like to play man a lot. I feel like this is a matchup issue when it comes to the Bucs offense. I like the Bucs at home in primetime against the Ravens.
Okay, it's time for hot takes leading into Week 7 of the NFL. Dan, do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. I had a hot take last week. Will Levis was not going to turn the ball over. Unfortunately, that was wrong. He did.
But that's why it was a hot take.
I was watching that whole game. I was like, don't turn it over, don't turn it over. He did. I have a season-long hot take this week, so it's not going to be just decided in 1 week. I placed a Super Bowl future.
Oh.
Would you guys like to guess who
Tell
I
us
placed my
more.
Super Bowl future on?
The Bears.
No. I
The
did not pick
Vikings.
The Bears. No. Not anyone you would think. I placed a Super Bowl future on the Los Angeles Chargers, 45-1. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
I don't hate it.
I don't think. Okay.
The reason why is I love how this Chargers team is playing hardball football,
Yes.
and they're already bought in so early. Like they were abysmal last year.
Yes.
The highest paid defense. Like they were a dumpster fire last year, and the fact that they're playing like quality football, the type of football that does win you championships, running the football, having
Yep.
Herbert and who is it? Quentin Johnston. Like you still have some guys on the perimeter, and they're playing good football. They don't turn the ball over.
I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. But I think 45-1, they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs, and you might have a chance to hedge. So it's like kind of a weird future where it's like, if I gun to my head, do I think they could actually win the Super Bowl? Probably not. But I do think they can be in the divisional round, and at 45-1, that's crazy odds.
This is going to be such a dumb question,
No,
but
it's not.
I'll be the guy. I'll be the guy that. What am I going to ask?
Like, can you cash out?
No. What I was going to ask is, teach me about this. What's this the hedge?
Well, 45-1.
So you buy it 45-1. Let's just say you put $1,000.
I put $5,000 on it, 45-1. So it would win me, I don't know, like 200,000 or something. They get into a playoff game. They're, I don't know.
Tough to beat, and then you have an opportunity.
225,000. Yeah, they're in a playoff game, and they're minus or +4 dog. Just I could take the money line on the other side and basically free roll it. Like put $15,000 on the other side.
Okay.
And then if the Chargers advance, I still have a huge window of money that,
So basically, the thought process is you put $5,000 on to win 45-1. They get in the playoffs. They're an underdog. Then you would put more money.
If I feel like this
on
is the
team
time
that you think that they might drop one.
Correct.
So that way you take care of it a little bit.
Correct.
Okay.
I also did it. I bet it twice. My new thing is I bet it twice. So I have a cash out bet, and I put $5,000 on them to win the Super Bowl. That will not be a cash out. And then I put $3,000 on them to win the Super Bowl. That could potentially be a
That's what I thought you were going to ask about the cash out.
I did a backup.
I wanted to learn that because I see it thrown
bet.
around and I'm like, damn, what is the hedge?
But also, everything I just said, I never hedge. So I'm just going to lose this money.
You have that opportunity.
I'm going to lose this money, but
you're not going to take advantage of it.
because like I've done it. I did it with, the Eagles were up. I had 22-1 on the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and they were up 10.5, and I didn't hedge. So I don't hedge. But you could.
You could.
You could hedge in the championship game for them to lose, but if they win, then you're still money to win.
But I'm not going to hedge.
Got you.
That's
But
crazy.
you could.
Not gonna hedge,
Also-
But you could.
All right.
It would be crazy for Harbaugh to go national championship and Super Bowl back to
Insane.
back.
I don't think it's going to
That would
happen, but I do think that I think they're a team that will be in the playoffs. That's really what the bet is. They're going to be in the playoffs, and I think the style they play, that's playoff football. Like they will not be an easy out for anyone.
The last time Harbaugh was a new head coach in the NFL, the 49ers lost in the NFC Championship game.
There we go.
Year one. Year two, we made the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But that was a walk-off field goal against the Giants in Candlestick. So
Yeah.
Okay. Will, do you have a hot
Harbaugh's done
take?
it before.
Yeah.
My hot take will build off last week. So last week, my hot take was you'll see Russell Wilson in that game. You didn't. He's now getting to start this game. And to build on that hot take, I'm going to say he throws for 6 touchdowns, and Jerry has to give
Malasek a hand job.
Malasek a hand job.
Wait, did I miss something?
Yeah, there was a clip. There's a clip with
It was supposed
Jerry
to
after
be Max,
dark.
and then Max.
Well, yeah.
Well, Malasek
I
just.
texted Max. I was like, "What are we doing here, dude?"
Malasek just
we
openly
built-
said he'll do it.
We've been doing this podcast for 8+ years, and it's all going to crumble because you're getting a hand job
From Jerry.
on a live stream. Like we got to think about this stuff.
So Malasek was just like, I'll do it?
I'll do it because
Yeah.
he thinks. I mean, 6 touchdowns is crazy, but
Yeah.
But I mean,
He's never done it.
it has
Russell
to be
Wilson's
live.
never
It
thrown
has to
6
be
touchdowns.
live stream too.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean,
understand.
that's how
I
do you-
use the old
Twitter allows you to put sex stuff on.
I use the old. I think it's Vince Lombardi. It might be Hank
Make Twitter
Strom.
porn great.
The clip. I think it's Vince Lombardi where he's just on the sideline. He says, "What the hell is going on out here?" That was the gif I used for that bet.
But you're going to just be okay if Jerry does it?
I'm not involved in this whatsoever. I got
You guys
my
are
guy out
just-
of it, and now I literally saw it, and I texted Max. I was like, "Dude, what are you doing?"
It's good.
Got him out. They can do whatever they want.
It's going to be one of those things where when we're watching this game on Sunday night and we're just like if Russ hits like 4,
There's no
5,
chance.
we're probably
Russell-
sitting there just like,
There's no chance.
I want the chaos.
Russell
I know, I
Wilson
mean,
is
it's just
not
like-
going to
Just
throw.
6 touchdowns.
He might not even throw 1 touchdown.
I know, but we need a Jerry cam if that happens. Like realizing
Yeah.
he's going to have to give another man.
No, listen, I'm
as
rooting
a
for
straight
it.
man,
I'm rooting
another man.
I'm rooting for there to be 5 touchdowns, like halfway through the third quarter. Just,
Imagine if he throws for 6 touchdowns. They lose. Devontae Adams has 120.
yeah.
With 2 touchdowns.
And he has to give Malasek a hand job.
Nightmare.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Kyle, do you have a hot take that could potentially top that?
No. I mean,
If you want to pass after that, you are more
He's
than
like,
welcome
Vikings
to.
are going to go 6-0 this week.
yeah. No, I mean, and there's no hot take that could.
No,
Yeah,
we gotta
you
just,
took it from us.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, anytime you start talking about Jerry giving another dude a hand job
Yeah.
on a live stream. All right, then let's just move on to the Survivor Pool picks. So, Kyle, unfortunately, the guest seat is out, so you do not get a pick here. Will is still out, but Dan and Jerry are alive. And just so you know, Kyle, this we've restarted this now 3 times.
Yeah,
like, this has
it's
been
been
a tough year for the guys in
Kyle,
Survivor.
I've lost on week 1 every time we've opened the Survivor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I never get
Jerry is up 1 point. So, Jerry, do you want to go first or you want Dan to go first?
I'll go. I'll take the Bills.
All right,
Bills for
I'll
Jerry?
take the Commanders.
Okay. All right, we'll see if it keeps going. I'm actually happy that you guys are still alive. Normally we have to restart every week. So
Yeah.
I have a Survivor pool strategy question. Do you ride with a team or against a team?
What do you mean?
when you
I'm
Like we look at the
last
schedule.
2 weeks I've gone against the
whoever
Panthers.
Carolina
Yes,
plays, or is it whoever?
I don't do Survivor pools correctly. There are people who do it very well, and they map out the entire schedule, and they're like, this is when I'm going to save this team and this team. I just sit down and I'm like, whoever's playing the Panthers.
Yeah.
it's a good strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of working.
Yeah,
Except for the first few weeks. Okay, anything else, guys?
Great show.
Great show.
Thank
Kyle,
you,
you crushed it.
Great show.
Thank you.
Yes,
Kyle.
we would love to have you
Appreciate it.
back. Yeah,
Good to get some Pro Bowls on you.
Yeah.
Pro
I
Bowls.
was snubbed.
All right. And we'll be back next week. Have a great weekend.